Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
8 out of 10.
What is a chicken bite? How do you get the chicken bite out?
You're literally eating ass.
Yeah.
So we catch this one, we go to Zhongshan. Beep boop. Oh man, it's so beautiful.
About 5 months ago, DJI released the Osmo Nano, and I honestly didn't understand it. I watched review after review and I was so confused. I already had the DJI Action 5 Pro and I already own professional cameras. From what I was seeing, this didn't have a place in my kit. Now I love gear and everything I buy comes out of my own pocket and has to serve a real purpose. These things aren't cheap and my job pays me just enough these days to survive. So I'm really picky about what I buy. When I saw the Osmo Nano, I really loved the form factor. But then I realized DJI has done this before with the Action 2, which had a lot of problems. And so I waited for more reviews and their opinions remained mixed. But curiosity won and I saved and I bought it a few weeks later. And somehow it became my most used camera, which I'm not mad about. Today, I want to talk to you about how this little camera helped push me to create again and come back from burnout, and why I think it's massively misunderstood and even misused. I've been creating for about 5 years now, but just over a year ago, I burnt out and I stopped creating consistently for personal reasons, but also because I couldn't keep up with the workload that I demanded of myself. I still wanted to create, but everything just felt overwhelming. And I don't know if you felt that way before, but carrying my A7 IV lenses, tripod, filters, it all turns every outing into a production, and so you start avoiding it altogether. The mental load of gear became part of the burnout, and over the last year, I simplified my kit by selling things, so adding to it was a risk on my end. Now, the Nano doesn't replace a camera like my Sony, of course, but I discovered that it does remove a layer of anxiety around creating in public and creating in general, and that changed everything. People keep comparing the Nano to action cameras, to Pocket 3, and even to phones. And that's the problem. It's also one of the reasons I almost didn't buy one, because of the unfair comparisons. It isn't trying to replace any of them. This isn't an action camera. It's not a pro camera, and it's not a phone replacement. I know this sounds like marketing, but seriously, the only way that I can explain it is that it's a friction remover. You pick it up and you stick it somewhere and you hit record, and you do that as often as you want. Less stress, less thinking, and more filming. I know that sounds simple, and you won't believe me until you actually experience it or you see it used enough that way. In November, my wife and I went to Taiwan and then Japan, and I wore this camera almost everywhere. I still took a main body and a couple of lenses for different purposes, but this thing, no tripod, no unwanted attention, no giant setup. I just enjoyed the moments. It's so light that most of the time I even forgot that I was wearing it. And when it died on me, I just used a portable charger to get it going again in no time. Before this, one of my biggest struggles was just filming moments in my life to capture memories, but also to use things as B-roll. Now, it happens without thinking, and that changed how often I create. But the Nano isn't perfect, and I think this is where the internet gets confused. You've probably seen Nano footage that looks amazing and footage that looks terrible. I think you also need to validate that the FX3, as an example, can also produce horrible footage if used incorrectly. There's numerous factors here, but basically what I've observed is that people aren't understanding their settings and also the right surroundings to record in. Some creators are missing steps, and in turn, they create footage that doesn't look great or footage with micro jitters. You need to record with the right settings and the right amount of light. With that being said, it's not useless in low light, and stabilization is great, but it also has its trade-offs. It's almost the same with every main camera body. Even with my A7 IV, every tool needs the right setup. Even a drill needs the right bit. The more you use it, the more you'll realize where and how you can use it for your style and where it falls short. I'm not trying to turn this into a settings video, but if you plan to use it like me, then what I've discovered with the Nano is that you can remove the stress of creating by setting up 3 custom profiles for almost any situation. Just switch between them based on the circumstances. So just quickly, I want to show you some examples with the settings that I use on each. Now, if you want it to just be simple, I recommend Profile 1, set it and forget it. If you want to color grade and you want to have more control over your footage, I recommend Profile 2 for day use combined with an ND filter and Profile 3 for night use. Once you get your settings right, you can add to the experience and quality by using neutral density or ND filters, adapters, and color grades. But don't overwhelm yourself on those. You'll quickly discover what you need and the settings that you might actually want to turn off the more that you use it. Now, I do color grade my D-Log M footage with my own LUT, and if you're interested, there is a link in the description. It comes with a quick tutorial for Premiere Pro and DaVinci in case you get stuck on that too. Thankfully, DJI included a 10-bit normal mode on the Nano, which is part of Profile 1. I recommend it because it has a better dynamic range than the standard profile, and you can even do some slight color grading on it on top of the normal profile to give it your own look. This camera prioritizes convenience first and quality second. If you're chasing the perfect image quality, this isn't it, and that's okay. Social media expects perfection from everything, but the footage from this camera is more than good enough for real-world use. As an automotive photographer and videographer, I wouldn't shoot a cinematic reel on it, though someone more talented than me probably could, but I would absolutely use it for BTS, point of view, blogs, and daily life. This is where it shines. Before I started filming in public, I thought people who did it were weird, and I honestly still do, even though I'm part of that crew now. I still feel cringe at times. The Pocket 3 still feels obvious. The A7 IV is very obvious, but the Nano, that feels invisible. And that's honestly a massive anxiety barrier that's removed, and I'm extremely grateful for it. To add to that, theft is always a concern that's in the back of my mind when I'm in public. And let's face it, the world isn't as safe as it used to be. I'd rather risk a $500 camera over a $4,000 one. This camera isn't for everyone. And I'm not going to sit here and try and tell you to go out and go buy one, because that's not what this is, and that is not who I am. This is a clarity issue more than anything. I think the Nano isn't misunderstood because it's bad. It's misunderstood because people expect it to replace something else. It won't, but it might remove the biggest barrier between you and creating: friction. And that's the part that most reviews completely miss. By this point, you probably already know if this camera makes sense to you, but let me make it really clear. This camera is perfect for you if you've ever said, I want to film more, but my camera is a hassle. I wish I captured more of my life. I want to start creating, but the gear feels overwhelming. I hate filming in public. I want point of view or behind the scenes footage without even thinking about it. I travel, but I never film enough. It's just too much effort. This camera, it lives in that space. It's not cinema. It's not action. It's not perfection. But it makes consistency accessible. And consistency is what most creators struggle with. Even me, that was literally my problem. This camera is for people who want to create more often, not people chasing perfect results. And those two are very, very different mindsets. This camera won't make you a cinematographer, but it will make you feel more. Peace.